Hey guys, SpiceWolf7 here for the Gamers Emporium, bringing you Dragon Age Inquisition. Today we're going to be going over the Archer class and basically going into fine details of how to make him a pretty awesome DPS ranged character. So go into your abilities, and then you'll find that you have obviously two to pick from, either Marksman or Evasion. Evasion, I didn't like the way that it looked. It looked more of a type of traps slash getting out of trouble sort of thing, and maybe some slight support for your allies and stuff. But it didn't really strike me as something hard hitting, especially for the Archer class. So obviously we're gonna go right into Marksman. All right. Now you'll first start out, I believe, with Explosive Shot and Caltrops from the Evasion tree, but you can switch those out. Definitely gonna want Explosive Shot and get the upgrade for it for Chain Reaction, which gives a damage bonus per target and maximum bonus damage of 100%. Because what happens is if you shoot something and when it explodes, all the shrapnel around will hurt enemies around them. So think of it as kind of a indirect AoE, I suppose. Next one you're gonna probably want to get, or I think you're forced to get this one as well. First Blood. You do more damage to enemies that are only lightly injured, so this is exceptionally well a good passive, especially if you have Long Shot, which I am gonna extremely suggest if you're not forced to get it. Long Shot, you shoot one enemy from a long period away, and it'll go through as many targets that are behind them, and even slightly left and right, so that you'll launch one arrow and you watch it zigzag through your enemies, possibly killing 2 or 3. I've been known on more than one occasion to take out at least 3 to 4 enemies per shot because of the bow, or because of the shot, and it does more damage if you get the it does more damage that more people that are like behind your initial target. Alright, and then you have Leaping Shot, which I suggest completely as well, because there's going to be times where most of your when some of your allies are down or completely dead, and you need to finish the battle so you guys can continue. This really helps out. You backflip and you launch your arrow barrage or whatever. But that's not why I like it. I like it because of its upgrade, which is Rolling Draw, so that when you get back up, you'll do a super hardcore draw on your bow, lance the target, and it'll put it most likely on its knees, and then you can back up and get a better firing position, or you can actually finally take that guy out because he's kind of been a bit of a bitch to kill, or so, something around those lines. It's either way, I highly suggest this. All right, then we're gonna go into the second tier, which you're gonna grab each one of these. First one is Cheap Shot, which your critical hits tear through your enemy armor, leaving it sundered for a short time. That means that they're more susceptible for damage, even if they are armored. Flanking Fire, I can't tell you how many times I've redirected my fire around my allies to get behind enemies and totally take them down a lot faster because of this. So definitely pick that up. Perceptive is just a dexterity and a cunning unlock. Your base skill is dexterity, so highly suggest getting that. All right, and then third tier. Now third tier has it's a bit of cut both ways. I mean, you can go one way or another, but I highly suggest getting Bloodied Prey. So if you're already at max health and you're already trying to take out enemies, this already helps out a lot by giving you that bonus 10% damage, all the ways. Damage for days, guys. Damage for days. That's what this Archer DPS is all about. Nothing but damage for days. So then you go into Disable. Critical hits on an enemy reduces their damage for a short time. That could really help out, especially if your tank is taking a really heavy hit. Definitely take that one. Opportunity Knocks. This one alone should definitely get this one. When an ally critically hits, you take advantage of their success faster with the reduced cooldown times. Now that could be really good, especially if you're waiting for that Leaping Shot to get out of the action and put some fire down on a bunch of enemies, or if you're waiting to use that explosive arrow and do a little bit of an AoE thing, or if you're waiting for that Long Shot, which I believe is the fastest or has the lowest cooldown of all your abilities. Let's see, the cooldown time for that is 8 seconds. Leaping Shot is 12. Cooldown is 12. Yeah, so having this down even faster, and if you're at a pretty good range, do it. It's amazing. Now there's where you kind of can go either way, but I prefer one over the other. Now what you can do is you can take you can take this one, which is called "And Take Them Down." Your experience with finding and pointing out enemy vulnerabilities gives the entire party a better chance to land a critical hit. Now, that might sound like, pretty good, but it's only a 5% chance of increase. And yes, you get the +3 dexterity, but it's not, it doesn't have immediate base damage, which is, I prefer that over the critical hits. So what I did is I took Tricks of the Trade, which is you get damage, you get always a permanent damage bonus and a permanent duration bonus. Now this duration bonus and the damage bonus applies to both you and your allies. So then this one is a really good one, especially for an ability that we'll talk about in a little bit. But like, let's say you had a tank who had had some abilities that really good for tanking, and he needs the duration for those abilities. That applies to that as well. So that's the way I went. I went more of like a DPS, but with some slight support for this archer. All right, let's go down to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, fourth tier. So fourth tier is another one where you kind of can go either way. I chose one way over the other yet again. Now, you can do death from above, but I found myself more often than not exactly on high on cliffs or on stairs and stuff like that. I found myself more of just like on level playing field with my enemy, so it didn't make really a lot of sense. And yes, the maximum damage bonus that you get for that is pretty nice, and you get the cunning unlocked, but the maximum height is 2 meters, and that's not terribly high. I mean, I'm like I'm almost 2 meters tall. I'm a tall guy. Okay, that was a lie. I'm not that tall, but I found myself more often than not on the same level field as like the rest of my allies and stuff, like maybe a bit behind, but certainly not as much on an elevated plane. So I went with strafing shots, which you move faster with your bow. If you pick either one of these, I suggest at least getting this one. I mean, it just makes sense to me. I mean, the faster you can move, the faster you can get out of danger faster, and you move pretty slow when you begin, so I would, definitely pick that up. And then there's Pincushion, which I really like. Pincushion, if the first arrow doesn't kill them, the 10th might. Each consecutive hit with a bow attack does progressively more damage to the target, so you're progressively getting them more and more damage, and it stacks. It's good. So definitely grab that one. But again, it's all up to you. Alright, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on the 5th tier, I believe, if I can count. Now, this one, it should be kind of obvious if you already have long shot. You don't need full draw, which it takes too long, and I don't know, I just prefer long shot more. Plus, this one doesn't, rip through other enemies and then they will take damage. But full draw, I give it one thing. The damage is nice, but the cooldown time for it, I like to have really quick burst abilities, for an archer. So I would definitely implore you to not take that one. But gaps in the armor is really good. It gives you the armor penetration of 25% plus a dexterity of 3 plus on unlock. Now this one, Mark of Death. Favorite move, love it for taking down those big targets like the Red Templars and those really tough to kill like Pride Demons on the harder difficulties and stuff. This thing rocks. You throw a giant dagger at them. Now it not only marks them, but you do continuous attacks and stuff like that. But then there's like damage that like is beyond what you're seeing and stuff. And this applies, I believe, to you and your allies as well. So while they're, like firing down there, or they're, stabbing them with swords, or taking them out with mallets, or, big ass axes or swords or whatever like that, it's adding to you as well. Now you can trigger it, and I have been known to like get Pride Demons down to at least half health from all the damage that we do, and then push the button, and then boom, guy's dead. We've been known to take out their guard as well, almost instantaneously, which really helps, especially on the end bosses. Because they do that cheap thing where they, get all that guard, and then you have to take that down, and that's a bitch. But this one, you really want to get the upgrade for it, which is Mark of Doom. And while it's active, they have armor reduction of 20%, which is a lot for a big guy. Now, the reason I really like this move is not because of the initial thing it does, but if you go back up here, Tricks of the Trade, it gives you that 10% bonus. Now that means that this move lasts 10% longer and has 10% more damage for when you dish out the damage. It just seems like a very obvious thing for you to do for your archer class. All right, and then the last one is throat cutter, which if you want, you can definitely get this, or maybe substitute for something up here or something like that. It's all up to you, but I like it because it's more damage. I mean, it's more constant damage. A wounded enemy is a perfect target. Your attacks are even deadlier against targets that are close to death already. So if they're already less health than you, then you've got the one. Where are you? All right, this one, Bloodied Prey. Your strikes cut deeper into any foe whose current health is lower than your own. It already gets a 10% damage, so you get 10% on that. Plus, it's kind of like the same thing. So the closer to the death they are, the more damage they're receiving as well. I mean, it just makes sense for a lot of damage. But I suppose that's pretty much it. I mean, you can fudge it a little bit, and make it a little bit more to your playstyle, like maybe have full draw and its upgrade instead of like throat cutter and disable, which I've been kind of thinking about. Might have been a bad kind of choice. Actually, no, not that one. There's another one. I don't know, but excuse me. But that's basically Archer in a bag. Heavy damage. It's not super heavy damage, but it's a lot of consistent damage and a lot of burst damage as well, especially with long shot and other abilities. But yeah, that's basically it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Many more to come for Dragon Age multiplayer and campaign, and we're going to be doing all the characters and stuff like that. It's gonna be a lot of fun, so definitely stay tuned. If you like this video, definitely give us a thumbs up, a like, and if you really like the video, definitely subscribe. We always need more of those. Definitely. Also, if you haven't checked us out on Facebook, we're at facebook.com/The Gamers Emporium. Definitely come over there. We have all our videos are currently they go up on there, and it's just an easier way for us to communicate with our with you guys and such. Excuse me, I'm dealing with this whole winter thing. So yeah, tell us what you guys think of the videos, and be sure to always check in on Saturdays around 9 or 10 p.m. We're always doing we do the live stream for Dragon Age Inquisition, and we're thinking about doing some other games as well. And just if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let us know. And have a great day, guys. Cheers.